Hi. So basically this training is just going to be for the new people mostly. It might help some of you guys that have been on my team for a little bit, because I've been getting a lot of questions about how to have Facebook parties, and there are a lot of videos on how to have a successful Facebook party, but mostly that's about interactions and what you need to say and do. And this is going to be more step by step, like physically what you need to do on your screen to make it happen. So the first way that you have to host a Facebook party is you have to have a hostess. So I message a million people every week and ask if they would be willing to help me expand my customer base by hosting a Facebook party for me. And what this does is the people that are farther away from you, that gives you a chance to sell to people in other states and interact with other people, because generally, especially where I live, there are not a lot of people that I know that are willing to spend, you know, up to $2,000 on Scentsy a month, which is my goal sales for the May month. So you find somebody to host your party. Then you pick set days. Usually mine lasts about a week. You can choose, some girls do it for 3 days, some do it for 2 weeks. It just kind of depends on your schedule and your hostess's schedule, whatever's best for you. The advice I have on that is I overlap paydays. So I know most people get paid on Fridays, so I like to overlap Fridays. So if my party is going to start this Friday, I want it to last until next Saturday. That way people have 2 paydays. Or people that only get paid once every 2 weeks, they'll have a payday somewhere in there, whether it's at the beginning or at the end. That way they have an opportunity to purchase also. You don't want people messaging you saying, well, I get paid next week, and you're like, well, I can hold the party, but then my hostess is not going to get her stuff, and nobody likes that. So you make the group on Facebook, and I hope that everybody knows how to make a group on Facebook. If you don't, there are Facebook training videos for how to use Facebook, and you can look that up. Just go to groups, hit create group. You're going to put the name, make sure you pick a background. The only person that I invite to my groups is my hostess. So even though you have the opportunity to invite a whole bunch of people, I let them do the inviting. That way you're seeing who they're bringing to the group. You wouldn't go into somebody's house and invite people to their house for their party. That doesn't make sense. And then you go into your workstation, make a link, like create your party. You'll go to orders, and then new, and then it'll prompt you on how to create a party, because it'll ask you party or individual. Whenever you watch your workstation training videos, it'll show you how to go through the workstation, so you should have already done that, and you should already know how to navigate yourself through the workstation to create your party. So I'm just going to focus on the Facebook part. After you create your party in the Facebook, or in the workstation, excuse me, you're going to copy the link, and then you're going to make a welcome post in your group for your Facebook party. Tell them who you are, give them the link, explain to them that they can order from the link or from you, either one, but they have to make sure that they are under their hostess's name whenever they go to the website, because otherwise the hostess is not going to get credit for their party. So after that, I do that about 2 days before my party starts, because I don't want to give it a whole week, even though some people like to give it a whole week, because I feel like that once the initial talking about the party, people tend to drop off and lose interest and don't want to talk about it anymore, don't look at any of the posts, so I want to keep them interacting the whole time. So you invite people, you make a welcome post immediately. I always post the roll call before the party even starts, because I want to know who's actually looking and who's paying attention. There's also a giveaway in the roll call. If anybody I added everybody to the mock Scentsy party videos, Facebook party videos, or groups, I think. But if you want mine, then I can send it to you. After you make your original post, Make sure you're commenting back on everybody's comment. Don't be ignoring people, even though you might be busy. You know, just at least like it. That way they understand that you know that they're there. Otherwise, they're not going to interact anymore. Whenever you are posting in the party, I usually post 5 times a day, 4 to 5 times a day, because I don't want it to feel spammy is the word that they use, and I don't want it to seem like I am I don't know, I want it to seem like I'm more in front of them and I'm a person rather than a sales rep, because when you buy something from a website, you're buying from a computer, and I don't want to feel like a computer. I want them to know that I'm an actual person that makes money off of their sales. So I definitely message people constantly and talk to them constantly. So if your party is going to last 5 days or 7 days, I separate all the posts that you're going to have on all the lines. You get the laundry line, body line, waxes, warmers, diffusers, oils, all that stuff. Separate it into certain groups and then certain days. Whenever you go to make a post on the group, go like you're going to type in a status in the group. And then at the top, beside your name, right underneath it, it's going to say schedule. You can sit there for an hour every week. As soon as you know when the party's going to start, if it's going to start on Friday, sit there for an hour on Wednesday. After you make the group, and hit schedule, and it'll ask you what day and what time you want to post what you're about to post. So you pick your day and time, and then add your pictures and add your content inside the thing, and then just hit post. And it doesn't post then, it posts when it's scheduled, obviously. So you could be at work like I am, working 40 million hours a week, and your posts go up by themselves. So it's like you're interacting when you're actually not. You're actually doing something else. The only thing that you really need to do that requires effort is you need to message people and you need to comment back on their posts. So that's what's going to happen throughout the whole party. So let's pretend that Stacy wants to order something from you. So you're messaging Stacy. She says, I want this, this, and this. You have 2 options. You can either take her order for her and add it to your workstation, to your party on your workstation. 2 things happened here. 1, it doesn't get submitted until after the party closes. Now, if they order something through somebody's party but on the personal website, it's going to post that day that they order, and then it's going to print, and then it'll ship out based on the amount of time. So that's everybody's going to get their I was about to say their prizes, their the stuff they ordered, but I'm looking for a word. The stuff they ordered, they're going to get it at different times versus you getting the whole party basically shipped to you and then you sending it out individually. It's completely up to you. You have to make sure that you choose that you want to ship it to you or the hostess, or if you're going to put the orders individually in your workstation, you have the option to choose individual delivery or direct delivery. That's what it says. And you can explore that on your workstation training videos. I'm not going to go over that. You can ask them what they want, put it in your workstation. Whenever I say take their money, I use Venmo and Zelle the most because they're free to use. My other option is PayPal because I have a card reader. So if someone doesn't have Zelle or Venmo, I email them an invoice from PayPal. The only thing I don't like about this is that it charges you to charge them. So as a standard, I charge everybody $2, unless their order's like super huge, to order, like if they choose the invoice option. So I give them the options, and then that way I don't say, hey, you have to pay PayPal and you have to pay the extra $2. I don't do that. I'm like, I have these 3 options. Which one would you like? And if they pick that one, I say, okay, but it's an extra $2. Is that still okay? And then you invoice them and then put all the money into your account or onto your card that you're going to pay with, because at the end of the party, whenever you're closing it, I just use my debit card and I pay for all of it at one time because they've already paid me and the money is already in my account. Let's see. The only thing you'd have to pay for that is if you want, gosh, my hair looks crazy. If you want to, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. If you want to post, or if you're wanting to, like, film finish the party, like close it out, and you took orders that day, because usually it takes 1 to 3 business days to get your money off the card, you'll have to hit instant, and you do have to pay for that. It's like 10% up to $10 or something. So basically that's how you finish up the party. And then at the end of the party, make sure that you're giving out the prizes that you promised. Don't play the games and then be like, oh, well, I'm just going to keep the prizes and not message those people back. Don't do that. That's mean, and that's douchey, and it's false advertising. Make sure you're telling everybody that you're closing the party, because I'm going to be honest, 2 or 3 times I didn't say anything about closing the party, and then I had people message me after the party was over, and they're like, hey, I want to order, and I'm like, oh, no. But then I offered them to host their own party. So make sure that whenever people message you and give you their order, as soon as you take their order, you say, okay, now that we're past that, would you be interested in hosting a party for me next month, or in 2 months, or in 3 months, or next season, or whatever? Because she helped her hostess out. And then make sure you add in there, whenever you're trying to convince them to host a party, that your hostess now is more likely to help them out since they helped her out. And 2, their hostess now will get a half-price item for booking a party off of your party, which you'll use the perpetual hostess reward for that, which you're not going to get PRV off of. Make sure you read the rules and contents on what is half off and what's hostess credits, because don't message me and ask how come I can't even think, why can't you put the poo on the thing? That's what I promised my hostess. Well, if you promised it to her and you want to give it to her, you're going to have to pay for that. So, the only question that was really asked, other than about the vendor events in the group, was how to get people to interact. So I talked about it in the other video, but I looked, and I'm not sure which one of you watched it, but only one of you watched it. So I'm just going to recap it really fast. I make sure I comment back on everybody's commented. Okay. She goes and invites people, and then the day before the party starts, I go to invite the invited list, which is people that were invited but didn't accept their invite, and I hit remind on every single person. That way it notifies them that, hey, the party's starting, to every single person. Then halfway through the party, I message every single person that is inside the party, and I say, like, individually message it. I don't comment on anything. I just say, hey, your hostess is X amount close to her hostess rewards. Would you like to help her with her party so she can get her free gift? And then they'll obviously say yes or no. And then you can, if they say no, then you can also use that as a prompt to ask them to host the party too. If they say they don't have money to do it, well, that's okay. You could host a party next month and get stuff for free, you know. And that would also help your hostess now, because she'll get a half-off item because you booked off of her party. Let's see. Okay, and then the day before the last day of your party, I message my hostess and tell her that all the people that I have messaged that it opened it and ignored me, she needs to message those people and ask them if they're going to put their order in, because it's about to close and she wants to get a gauge on how much free stuff she's going to get so she knows what to put on her wish list. Whenever she does that, people are more likely to respond to her than they are to you, because you're a stranger and they're her friend. So they're going to be like, no, I can't because I'm poor, or something like that. And you can always prompt your hostess to say something, you know, something personal, like if they have kids. I've used this before. Make sure you tell your hostess to tell them, hey, I'm trying to earn Christmas gifts for my kids, you know. Is there any way that you're going to be able to order this week to help me out to do that? Something like that. Just make it something about her that's personal, that her friends would know that it's legitimate, and it's not just her being like, hey, so this girl's nagging me to make you buy something. Are you going to buy something? So you don't want to do that. After she messages everybody, make sure that you tell everybody you're collecting the orders. You know, make sure you give them a notice, say 24 hours to close the party, or 6 hours to close the party, something. Make sure your hostess knows. Then the party closes, and I still give it a day. I don't ever close the party the day that the party closes. I wait until the next day, and then I tell the hostess, you know, hey, this is how much we got. I want to go ahead and submit the order for the other people. So this is how much free stuff you got. What did you want? And whenever she tells you if there's anything in the catalog that she didn't get or whatever, make sure you have that, especially if you earned the $59 kit doing the hostess, or that earn the $59 hostess kit by doing the party. If you hit the 200, make sure you're talking to her about the hostess kit. And if she doesn't want it, I would definitely post it back on the party page. Ask anybody else if they want it. I usually don't leave it up for very long, because the longer you leave it up, one, the people in the party are not going to get their stuff. So they pay for their stuff and they're waiting an extra week just so you can offer a discounted kit. I don't do that. The only time that I ever do that is one on a weekend. I keep it open for 2 days. All the other days, if I have one during the week, I post it and I'm like, hey, I have a discounted kit. Are there any grabbers? And I leave it for the day. And at the end of the day, if nobody grabbed it, or if somebody's like, I don't know about it, I'll have to think about it, it's a no. I always tell them that they can host their own party, earn it, or I will message them directly whenever I have another one available before I post it. That way they get first dibs. So I don't leave it just dangling forever. Another good way to get people to interact in your party is make sure that your hostess is interacting. One of the main ways that I do that is I make her go through the website and I kind of do it with her. I send her stuff, like if she's got kids, I send her pictures of buddies. If she like super likes to wash clothes or something, I send her pictures of laundry. I'm like, this is neat, this is something I love, this would make good Christmas gifts, something. That way she has a wish list, because she knows what she wants and she knows that she doesn't want to pay for it. So she's more likely to message people and make them interact because she doesn't want to pay for something. If that makes sense to you, if you have any questions on what I just said because it didn't make sense, make sure you ask me. But that's basically all I had to go over on step-by-step Facebook parties. So if you have any more questions, post it in the group. Make sure you tell me. And that's what I want to know, is who's watching, because it doesn't tell me who's viewing it. So since it's at the very end, you'll know. Comment below and say, hey, I watched it, or whatever. That way I know who's watching it and who's taking in the information. Because I'm not going to keep on making training videos if nobody's watching it. I'll just tag y'all in the other people's training videos, because it's a lot easier for me, even though I have to find them. But the questions y'all are asking me is more of a broad content, so I wanted to smash it all into one video instead of me tagging you in 12 different videos. Also, please keep in mind, one more time, I work a million jobs and I'm busy all day, every day. If I don't get to your message immediately, it's okay. Nothing bad is going to happen. But if you want immediate answers, usually it's okay to post in the group, because my two oldest team members are Caitlin and Brittany, and they usually will answer you a lot faster than I will, because not that they're not as busy, but I don't know, they're good at responding. So yeah, that's all I had to say. If y'all want to go through and watch, I'm about to do a live in Sims Dare to Lead, so y'all can go through and watch that. Okay, I'm done.